You're looking to start an LLC in Vermont. And the good news, I'm looking to help you do so. In this video, I am going to give you the entire breakdown and the step-by-step walkthrough on exactly what you need to know to start your LLC properly in Vermont. And I'll also be pointing out one particular thing that you should really know that can completely crush your privacy if you're not careful. But more on that here in a minute. But first, let's kick this off with the reasons why Vermont stands out for new LLCs. Now, if you're tired of the endless rules and confusing paperwork that you hear about in other states, Vermont's got your back. Setting up an LLC here is simple, mostly online, and comes with access to a bunch of different programs designed to help small businesses grow. So think grants, tax credits, and a local startup community that's rooting for you. Imagine launching in Vermont and finding yourself eligible for a local grant that actually helps pay your bills as your business grows. It's that mix of simplicity, support, and the real opportunity that makes Vermont a solid choice for any new entrepreneur. But truthfully, picking the right state, that's just the beginning. Next up, let's tackle naming your Vermont LLC, the step where people often stumble just as they're about to get started. But before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I will walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way in the video, just go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. Okay, so let's get back to the name here. So this is the part that sounds easy, but trips up a lot of people. So don't rush the paperwork. Vermont requires every LLC name to be totally unique. No copycats, near matches, or clever tweaks. You've also got to add an official ending. So choose from LLC, LLC, Limited Liability Company, Limited Co., LC, or LTD. Now, most people go with LLC because it's short and clear, but Vermont lets you use other endings if you want. Now, a big rookie mistake is using words like bank, insurance, university, or anything that could sound official, professional, or like it's part of the government. Now, if you're not licensed for those particular professions, or you're not actually running a bank or a school, Vermont will turn you down fast. And that goes double for words like federal, city, or county. These are off limits as well. So here's the move. So head over to Vermont's official business search portal, which is linked to below, along with every other resource that's included in this video, to see if your idea is taken by another business. Use that search to find close matches, not just exact ones. And if an active LLC already claims a name that looks really similar, you'll need to brainstorm something new. All right, so ready to see how choosing the right registered agent can save your LLC from a major headache? Well, stick around because this decision isn't just paperwork. It can actually protect your privacy and help keep your business in good standing with the state. So now let's get into the move that keeps your Vermont LLC legit, which is picking a registered agent. The state requires every LLC to have a registered agent with a physical street address in Vermont. This person or company will receive legal notices, business mail, and crucial documents on your behalf. You can step in as your own agent if you're a Vermont resident and you are available at that address during normal business hours. But here's the catch to that. Your name and address, they go on the public record. That means that you could get a flood of junk mail or random visitors knocking if there's ever a legal issue. Missing an important document, it isn't just a headache either. It could mean late fees, missed deadlines, or even legal trouble. So for a lot of business owners, the privacy risk alone isn't really worth the few bucks that you save. Now, this is one of the big reasons why I recommend a professional service instead. And personally, my preferred provider is Northwest Registered Agent. Now, they're known for their strong privacy protections, their excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. And if you hire them, like I did in the past, to help you form your LLC, the cost is only $39. And one of the best perks of using them is that you can use their business address on your public filings, which helps keep your personal address private and cuts down on junk mail. So if you want to check them out, go ahead and click right up here to learn more about them. All right, so ready for the next critical step? Well, let's dive into how to officially file your articles of organization and lock in your LLC status for real. So now for the official step, making your Vermont LLC real by filing your articles of organization. This is your birth certificate for the business. And Vermont asks for a one-time state filing fee of $155, which you'll pay to the Secretary of State. Now, in this form, you'll include your LLC name, business address, registered agent contact, your fiscal year and month, and whether your LLC will be managed by its members or outside managers. You'll also need to toss in a NAICS code that describes the main activity of the business, but don't worry, there's a free lookup tool online to help you find the right one. And a tip here, double check all addresses and spelling before you submit, because fixing mistakes after filing, that can mean paying for amendments down the road and can delay things. Now you can sign as the organizer or have someone else do it, but that signature seals the deal. And once you submit and the state approves, your LLC, it becomes official. Just keep a copy for your records, and it's really the proof of your existence, right? So next, let's see why having an operating agreement for your LLC, that matters too, even if Vermont doesn't technically require one legally, and how a simple document can help you sidestep really messy arguments in the future. So think your operating agreement as kind of the rule book that keeps your Vermont LLC out of drama, even though the state, again, it doesn't technically force you to have one. It won't get filed with the state, but it's a smart move to set it up from day one. So this document lays out exactly who owns what, how profits get split, who makes decisions, and what happens if someone wants out or you add a new member. Without it, your LLC could look like a sole proprietorship in the eyes of banks or the courts, which could put your personal assets at risk during a lawsuit or dispute. Even a one-person LLC needs this, not just to prove that you're legit, but to open a business bank account and steer clear of Vermont's default rules, which may not fit your needs. And if a disagreement ever pops up between partners, your operating agreement, it helps hash it out before things ever get messy. And you can grab a free template online and just tailor it to your business. There's no lawyer really needed for this unless you're really, really worried about it. And once yours is signed, you can stash a copy with your LLC records. It could save you time, money, and stress in the long run. So next, let's jump into the next stage, which is how to snag an EIN, which is like a business social security number for your LLC, and why banks always will ask for this as well. So here's a step that you can't skip. Grabbing an EIN for your Vermont LLC is like kind of giving your business its own social security number. You need it for taxes, hiring employees, and most importantly, opening a business bank account. Now, the good news, it's fast, it's free, and totally online. Just head over to the IRS website, fill out a simple application, and you'll get your EIN the same day, usually in under 15 minutes. No mailing, no waiting around, nothing like that. And even if you're running a single member LLC, banks will almost always ask for an EIN before opening a business bank account. And using an EIN instead of your personal social security number, it also keeps your identity safer and helps separate business from personal finances. So hang on to your EIN confirmation letter for your files, since you'll need it for banking, payroll, and a bunch of future forms. Now with this in hand, you're set for the next stage. So let's talk about keeping your Vermont LLC in good standing and why annual reports are your ticket to running a real business in the eyes of the state. Staying on the state's good side means keeping up with a handful of compliance rules, mainly Vermont's annual report requirement. This report is due every year between January 1st to March 31st, and for most LLCs using a regular calendar year. And you'll pay a $35 filing fee to the Secretary of State online. Now, if you skip it, your LLC could be marked as terminated, wiping out your legal protections until you pay up and reinstate. Now, Vermont doesn't require a general business license for most LLCs, but depending on your industry, like food, healthcare, or trades, you may need special state or local permits. And if you sell taxable goods or services, don't forget to register for sales tax with the Department of Taxes either. Now, you'll also pay Vermont state income tax on your earnings. Now, rates range from 3.55 to 9.4%, and federally, LLC profits get reported on your personal return. Now, some LLCs also owe a minimum business entity tax, usually about $250 a year, if taxed as a partnership or S Corp. But stay on top of these yearly check-ins and fees, and your business remains 100% real in Vermont's eyes. So up next, let's break down all the startup and ongoing costs for running a Vermont LLC so that there are zero financial surprises along the way. So let's break this into startup costs, ongoing costs, and your first year totals so that you never get blindsided by fees. So first, startup costs. Your articles of organization required $155 one-time fee gets your business official with the state. Then the registered agent service, optional but highly recommended, $39 to get Northwest Registered Agent to help you form your LLC and have a registered agent. Then your name reservation. So this is only needed if you want to hold your name in advance. It's $20 for 120 days. Then we have a DBA, doing business as, $50 if you want a separate trade name, and you'll know what that is if you need it. Then we have business licenses or permits, so costs really vary depending on your town and the type of business as well. So for example, a standard, Burlington business license, that runs $100, but it changes by location. Now in the first year, you can expect to pay between $150 to $350, depending on licenses and permits. From there, your ongoing costs. So your annual report, $35 to $45 per year, paid to the Secretary of State to keep your LLC status active. Then a registered agent, assuming you use Northwest Registered Agent, is $125 per year to stay in compliance. Then we have a minimum business entity tax, usually $250 per year, depending on your income and tax setup. Then renewals, so DBA and business license renewals, those are as needed, recurring every few years. So ongoing yearly costs around $300 to $400 per year, plus any relevant taxes or licensing. Now again, to help with all this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which again, you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or are a little bit confused about the process, just drop me a comment below and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.